Hi guys, John here from Gaming in the Wild with another video for you. And 2023 was a great year for indie games, I think we all agree, with games like Sea of Stars, Cocoon, Dredge, and Dave the Diver scooping up a lot of awards. But there were loads of great little indie games that weren't Game of the Year contenders, but are still very much worth playing. And this video is about a few of those games that deserve your attention. If you enjoy this one, please give it a like, you're welcome to subscribe for more, and I'll tell you about the channel's Patreon at the end of the video. And with that said, let's get on to the first of the 4 games I'm going to talk about, an underwater adventure called Under the Waves. So Under the Waves was developed by Parallel Studio and published by Quantic Dream. It's a melancholic underwater adventure about a deep-sea diver called Stan, who's taken on an underwater mechanic job to escape from his life's problems. You start your day in the HAB unit, you make coffee, and pick your day's tasks from the mission board, then climb into your submersible and get to it. It's story-focused, but the game shines brightest via its mesmerising underwater exploration. You go around checking underwater farms and fixing power lines, and going off-piste sometimes to explore a nicely sized patch of ocean floor. You ping your radar to find points of interest, and pop out of the sub to swim down and collect resources and collectibles. And exploring is a real pleasure in this game. There's a lovely kind of light, it's dark and rippling, there are nooks and crannies to delve into, sunken collectibles to find, and wildlife to photograph and even befriend. There's also an ecologically focused plot that will see you piloting through tight caves and mysterious industrial structures, as well as learning more about Stan's personal story along the way. And while this game had a few bugs and performance issues at launch, like a few faulty map markers that drove me mad, and a lot of frame drops, I would say that its Metacritic 71 is a little bit low. I really did enjoy the 10 hours that I spent under the waves. The next game I have for you is Meg's Monster, made by Japanese indie studio Odincat. And this one came as a recommendation from Soccer over in the channel's Patreon Discord, and they championed the game pretty hard, and I'm glad they did. It's a pocket-sized JRPG in spirit, with a top-down pixel art style, and we play as a powerful ogre called Roy, who's going about his business one day in the underworld, when a small girl called Meg falls into the depths from above and arrives in his life. He's reluctantly drafted into protecting her, and the game is the story of him trying to get her out of his hair, basically, by taking her back where she belongs. The game has a small overworld map and various colourful locations and interesting characters, and a unique spin on turn-based combat, because whilst Roy is a tank with 9,999 hit points, Meg only has 8, and every time he takes damage, she gets more and more upset. For story reasons, if she freaks out, it's game over, so we have to distract her mid-combat with toys and crayons. It's really funny, and it's a whimsical, charming spin on turn-based combat. The game has a really good story that gets quite emotional by the end as Meg and her monster get closer over time. This one really is a hidden gem. It's available on Switch, Xbox and Steam, a good little game. That's Meg's Monster. The next one I have for you actually sneaked out in late 2022, but I'm including it here because I played it last year. It's a wonderful, concise little story game that you can finish in just a couple of hours, called The Forest Quartet. It was developed by Mads Vadsholt with the help of his friends and family, and you can really feel that a lot of love went into this one. It's a short lyrical game about the death of a young singer called Nina, and the effect it has on her bandmates, the Forest Quartet. You play as Nina's ghost, and starting from an empty bandstand in the woods, you go to the houses of your stricken bandmates. You solve puzzles to help them get over their anxiety or depression or anger, and bring the band back together. The negative emotions are represented really well by mould growing over a house, or fire, or a flood. And it's satisfying seeing those things recede as we solve various kinds of quite clever puzzles to help Nina's bandmates back on their feet. The game does a lot with a little. It offers glimpses into the lives and minds of each member of the Forest Quartet. It has a really lovely soundtrack, and at various points we'll hear interviews with the band on the radio from better days when they were still all together. It's sensitively told and well voice acted, and the emotional story rings true. The end of this one is very much worth seeing. The Forest Quartet is a lovely little game that's available now on PlayStation and PC. And the last last game I have for you is called Season, A Letter to the Future. This one has really lovely music that we've been listening to throughout this video by Spencer Doran, and it's a calm, lyrical exploration game by Scavenger's Studio. It's probably the most well-known game here, I think. It got a bit of a push from PlayStation when it launched in February 23, but it didn't connect with a very wide audience, and that resulted in half the studio being laid off last year. And that's a real shame, because Season is a truly lovely game. We play as Estelle, who leaves her dreamy hometown of Cairo to cycle through a lost valley that will soon vanish when a nearby dam is destroyed. The valley is mostly evacuated, and we cycle and freewheel down hills, through forests and over bridges, finding loads of sites of interest that all have their own stories to tell. We witness the lives left behind and document them in Estelle's journal. The gameplay in this one is documentation using photography, sketches, notes, and sound recordings. You patch them all together into a notebook in a really cool gameplay mechanic. And when you've found enough clues from one area, the camera pans across the page and we choose what story we are telling. It's a really unusual style of gameplay. We're creating an account of a place that will soon be lost to time. There are also a few people who are yet to be evacuated. There aren't that many, but meeting them always felt special, and hearing their personal stories was an intimate, resonant, memorable experience. I still think about this game all the time. Season, A Letter to the Future is out now on PlayStation and Steam. So that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been really enjoying making these videos for the last week, and it's been really nice seeing all of the comments that people leave. Thank you so much to everyone who is watching and leaving comments and subscribing to the channel. It all helps the videos rise to the top, and I'm excited to make more for you. If you would like to support this channel further, you can go to patreon.com/gaminginthewild to sign up for $1 a month or more. You'll get an invite to the channel's Patreon Discord, where there are loads of people talking about games. You are welcome to join us. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.